Hello everyone, and welcome to SUNUP. I'm Lyndall STOUT. We begin today with an update on Oklahoma's wheat crop. We're joined here in the field by Jeff Edwards, our Extension Small Grain Specialist. And Jeff, just kind of begin with an update on how the crop is looking overall.
Well, the crop is looking much better than it was a couple of weeks ago. We've gotten rain across most of the state. We were getting pretty dire straits. We needed a rain, especially in northwestern Oklahoma. We were fortunate enough to get that. That has really brought our crop to life in terms of growth. The crop has greened up. Most people have probably noticed a lot greener crop out there. We actually, our wheat that was sown early for wheat pasture, it's come along, and I think we're going to have some grazing. I expect to see cattle out on wheat pasture soon.
Now, you pulled a plant here from your research plots. What is the plant telling you at this stage?
Well, what I'm looking for here in terms of turning cattle out on wheat pasture, we need a good crown root system on the plants. The first roots that come out of the plants will just go downward, and they don't do much to anchor the plant in the soil. What you need is a good extensive root system generating from the crown of the plant. And once you have that, the plants will be anchored in the soil much better, and it's less likely the cattle will actually pull them out of the ground while they're grazing. So you have less damage to the crop once you have that crown root system, and that's what you're looking for before turning cattle out onto wheat pasture.
And some plants or some fields are already getting to that stage, and then the others will follow suit in the next few weeks?
Some of our fields are already there, especially in southwestern Oklahoma where we've had a little more moisture and wheat went in early. We have some fields that are ready for cattle now. As you move into north central and northwestern Oklahoma, those fields, they're not far away with the moisture, but it wouldn't hurt for them to have another week or two of growth before we really get a lot of cattle out there grazing on them heavily.
Let's talk management and some of the things to keep in mind for fall that will set producers up to be successful in the spring.
Absolutely. So many times when we're managing a wheat crop, we become reactionary. We should be proactive on many of our management decisions. The one that comes to mind this fall, of course, is weed control. And you know, in Oklahoma, we do an excellent job of fertilizing our weed crop. When you look at what we're doing in the fall, we're putting out nitrogen pre-plant in the form of anhydrous, we're putting phosphorus out there, and when you have weeds out there and you let them grow through the fall, they're just taking up that nitrogen that you paid 50 cents a pound for. So why not go ahead and control those weeds in the fall? We've got great spraying weather this fall so far. Go ahead and get those weeds knocked out. The other thing that we need to do this fall is be thinking about our nitrogen management. Still time to get a nitrogen-rich strip out there. If you want to be really accurate on those nitrogen decisions, which we need to do, you need that nitrogen-rich strip out there. Both of those, weed control and getting a good firm handle on nitrogen management, would be what I consider the base for intensive wheat management, which gets talked about quite a bit these days, but that would be the base for a good management system.
Of course, in Oklahoma, we all talk about the weather, think about the weather, and for the wheat, sort of can go in and out of dormancy this time of year?
Yeah, well, soon we'll have our first hard freeze, and that's kind of the first sign to the wheat crop. Well, it's time to lay off the growth a little bit and maybe go into dormancy. Here in the southern plains, really when you get below central Kansas, we go in and out of dormancy quite a bit, and that's one reason sometimes we have a bit of an issue with winter hardiness of varieties. In more northern latitudes, they go into dormancy and the wheat stays dormant. In the southern plains, we'll be dormant for a while. We'll get a warm spell and the wheat will come out of dormancy. So it can create some issues if those temperature changes are too rapid. Most of the time we're okay. The good thing about us coming in and out of dormancy is generally whenever we have those warm spells and we come out of dormancy, it creates a spraying opportunity again to kill some of those weeds.
Okay, great advice. Jeff Edwards, thanks a lot.